burrito buttons, we are going to do another Q&A because we haven't done one in like 6 months. So I can't say like, oh, you know, if you're new here, then you won't know about this because you could have been here for 6 months and just never been here for a Q&A because I haven't done one in so long. I haven't done one since I moved, which is a while. Oh, and before I forget, Midori Rogue made this piece of fan art that we have in the background today, so thank you so much. This was my Skype picture for a very long time. Probably didn't know that, because I didn't tell you. So the way that this works is one mug has work questions, one mug has personal questions, and one mug has silly, dummy, nonsense questions. I am going to answer 3 questions from each mug, so it will be a total of 9 questions answered. These are all taken from Twitter today. So if you send me a question on Twitter, it might pop up. You never know. Oh my god, they're stuck together. At tguns420, nice name. Will you do an LP of Dark Souls? If you do, that will be awesome. Look, God, guys, you don't understand. I'm so bad at those games. Like, I'm abysmal at them. So, everybody keeps asking if I'm gonna do an LP of Dark Souls, and I'm like, why would you want that? But apparently you guys are really interested in seeing that happen. So, I'm not gonna say that I'll do an LP, but I will say that I'll play it so you can see how bad I am, and then you'll beg me to stop. Oh, God, what's happening? From @DStewart2013. Will you still get the Mugen stripe tattoo? Yes, I am absolutely still planning on getting the Mugen stripe tattoo. There are actually 2 different tattoos that I'm kind of working on. One of them is just extra addition to this one. I have gears on my side that are just silhouettes of gears, and I love them, but I've had an idea for how to make them, I don't know what the word would be. Better to me. So I've been thinking about doing that, and I also, yes, still plan on getting the Mugen stripes on my wrist. The problem is that I psych myself out because bands are very common and very easy to mess up. So I'm like, how do I find somebody and just be like, are you good at doing bands? Because they're all gonna be like, yeah, we do them all the time. And I'll be like, no, you don't understand. Are you good at them? Like, I don't know. So I do want them. I just keep psyching myself out of actually getting them. And I am planning on adding more to this guy on the side, and that's exciting. Silly questions that I can't seem to open, from @Mr. Edster. If dexterity is your primary stat, what is your secondary stat and why? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so there's strength, intelligence, charisma, wisdom, dexterity. Is that it? Intelligence and wisdom, strength, charisma, dexterity. I think that's it. I think that's the normal set. Okay, it's obviously not strength. It's not wisdom. If we assume that wisdom is like, book smart, and intelligence is more like common sensey smart, which is why like rogues have to be intelligent, right? But they don't have to have wisdom, whereas wizards have to have wisdom. So I would say that I'm more intelligent than I am wise, but I wouldn't say that either of them would be my strength. This is gonna sound so douchey. I think that charisma would be my second stat. The reason I say this is because I tend to get along with people really well. I tend to be able to get along with most types of people, which is so fortunate because I've met so many different kinds of people who do so many different kinds of things and are from all different walks of life, and I've been able to mostly get along with them and walk away with good feelings. And I completely thank my mom for that. Like, I've watched her my whole life growing up, and she was absolutely the sort of is absolutely the sort of person who, when she meets somebody, she's just immediately so warm and welcoming to them, and I've tried my whole life to replicate it. And I don't think that I've perfected it the way she has. but I do think that I've learned a lot of really good things from her to be able to to get along with most people. And I still feel like that sounds kind of douchey, but that's, I would say that charisma is my second stat. That was a silly question? Yes, that was a silly question, and then we're moving, oh my gosh, I got so confused. I was like, wait, that was a work question, right? No. It should have been a work question. From @LiamODC, do you feel pressured to take part in charities because of your large fan base? That's an interesting question too. So I've always, like when I was in college, I was absolutely living paycheck to paycheck. I would routinely completely run out of money before the month was up, and that was very stressful. But whenever I could, I tried to get involved with programs like Kiva, like things where you could give a certain amount of money and the money would come back to you and then you could just give it again, right? Like you weren't constantly donating. I think like once I realized that I had enough people watching me that perhaps we could all kind of inspire each other to do something really good, that was so incredible to me. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe we could have like a charity drive, like a legitimate charity drive. That would be incredible. So when I did my first one that turned into the 24-hour live stream that I did, which was, oh my gosh, every now and then I reflect on that and I'm like, oh, remember when I almost whatever, fine, camera, you don't want to hear my story? Then I just won't tell it. I almost passed out at 3 in the morning. It was awful. But I was so jazzed about how much money we raised and how much you guys were interested in it. And now I feel like the hard part about it is that you can't just constantly have charity drives going. Like I wish I could. I wish that every month I could be like, this is the charity that we're donating to this month. But again, I'm sure tons of you are like I was in college and are living paycheck to paycheck and sometimes completely run out of money. You need every dime. And I would never be constantly I don't want to create a situation where I'm constantly putting pressure on my fan base to be giving money when I'm sure plenty of you don't have it. Okay. @DanTheftAuto. Have you ever thought of getting a dog? Not recently. I had dogs my whole life growing up. Like my family are dog people. We love dogs. But like we had a farm. Right? We had a place for puppies to run and be happy. And after my dog Jake passed away, I was kind of like, no dog is ever going to be as good as Jake. Like, there's never going to be a dog who is as awesome and precious and wonderful as Jake was. So I'm not even going to think about dogs. And I didn't. And it was not too long after that that I fostered my first set of kittens. And I was like, oh, cats aren't as bad as I thought, because I always associated cats with just like mean animals that scratch you a lot. Like, I just never really liked cats. But I had a lot of friends who had really sweet cats, and my friend Kate had adopted a cat and was working at a shelter. And she was like, you should see if you can foster. Like, you love animals. Like, just see if it's something that you're interested in. So I signed up for the fostering program, and they sent me a bunch of kittens, and I fell in love. Every single time I fell in love with them. And so it turned me into a cat person, and I never was before. But if I ever had like a big piece of property again or a nice big yard, I would love to get a dog again. But I'm not a huge fan of small dogs. I would want a bigger dog, I think. So yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it in a realistic way. I've thought about it in a, one day I'll probably want a dog again. @ThrowawayUser. What is your favorite number from 0 to 6? I really love both 6 and 2. I think I've told you guys before that I have like a form of synesthesia where like items and numbers and just things have like personalities to me, like the way I associate them with like colors and names and genders, and like it's very strange, and I don't know why I do that, but I've always loved 2 and 6. 2 has always felt like a blue tomboy girl, so I love 2. And 6 has always felt like a young thief and I really love thieves. I love like rogues. So, yeah, so I love 2 and 6. I love them both a lot. I would say that I love 2 more than 6 probably, but 6 has a special place in my heart. So, I guess I identify more with 2. This is getting weird. I'm gonna move on. Last work question. Yoop. From @DouglasGaming, since you've been a YouTube gamer, has it spoiled your enjoyment of video games? No. I would say, if anything, it has made me enjoy games more because I'm surrounded by so many people that love them and play them all the time. Get out of here, car. I'm trying to talk about my feels. The number of people that I have around me that love all different types of games and are able to say to me like, dude, have you played this game? And the likelihood is that my answer will be no, unless it's a very well-known title and I've played it at an event or something. Most of the time my answer is no, I've never played that before. And it's great because then they've introduced me to a game that I probably never would have found out about otherwise. They're usually, you know, like smaller indie games, and I play them and I fall in love with them and I'm like, oh, this is so great. Like, I would say that before this, I obviously loved games, otherwise I wouldn't have started all this, but I didn't have as much knowledge on the subject, and I couldn't appreciate them as much as I do now. @Major Ivan, when you color your hair again, what color will it be, and will you try a mohawk? Oh, will you ever try a mohawk? Oh my gosh, I have always wanted to try a mohawk, but I won't do it. And do you want to know why? I bet you do. I bet you do want to know why. Because my ears stick out, and I know that it won't look flattering on me, so I just can never have it, and that's fine. I've learned to live with it. It's like, look, my ears are just like, hey, we exist in the world, and I'm like, ah. Like, girls with mohawks and tiny ears, I think look so cute. Like, it's so cute. I want that so badly, but I wasn't born with tiny ears, and I've learned to love my ears. But when I was younger and I really wanted a mohawk, I was like, because every time I cut my hair super short, my ears like looked crazy huge. So I was like, it's just not flattering. It's just not, it doesn't look very good on me. So yes, I want to try a mohawk so bad, but I'm not going to. Someday I might do it like after everybody else is over it, because otherwise everybody in the world would be like, oh, you're following a trend. I would love to do the like partial shave. I mean, who knows? Who knows, guys? Maybe one day. Also, what color would I dye my hair next? Man, it's been red for a long time, I feel like. It's been red for a very long time. I feel like I'm an older lady who has settled down into red. And that's fine. I love red. But, I don't know, man. We still have to do rainbow one day, right? Final question. Final question. Final question. Sorry, I got distracted. @OctagonARock. Do you burp or fart more? I would say lately I fart more. Absolutely. I definitely fart more. But normally I think I'm more of a burper. I don't know, maybe not. My farts are kind of infamous. So they're like really bad, guys. I have really bad farts. If you ever meet me and you're like, somebody farted, it was probably me. I shouldn't say that. Now I'm gonna be blamed for every fart on the planet. All right, that's it. Those are all the questions. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have a fantastic week. And we'll do another Q&A sometime soon. I promise it won't be 6 months. I promise. Mwah.